Okay, we're waiting for the fuel pump to come in. And I ordered a little auxiliary type little fuel pump. If nothing else, it'll clean the lines out. It'll put out a few pounds of pressure that I'm gonna hook in here. So we're gonna try that. And then we haven't dropped the tank yet or changed the fuel pump. And we were probably going to do that. We need to get this truck running. I want to get the engine running. And then I'm going to pull this engine and put in another truck. Is what the plans are. I'd really like to keep this old truck, but we're going to see. Doing a little more checking. I'm still looking for a truck. I've looked a bunch of places online trying to find something with a halfway decent truck with a good body and with a messed up engine that I could pick up for $1,000 or so. So we still have a search going on with that. Meanwhile, we're going to play around with the fuel pump, and we're going to drop the tank and put a new fuel pump in it. Like I said before, we bypassed the fuel pump regulator. We jumped across it, and the fuel pump is not running. We're not getting anything at the fuel pump. So it's been sitting forever. So we're gonna pull that tank and see what we got, and put us a new fuel pump in it. That's where we are right now. Video number 4. Okay, there's our fuel pump. The new fuel pump came in. Goes into the gas tank. It's a big tank, a big fuel pump now. And these are all the instructions on how to wire it up. And there's a wiring harness. Well, before getting into that, we're gonna clean it. We're gonna try to clean out the lines, the fuel lines, the old fuel lines. That's my airbags. One there. Fixing to, I got to have somebody install them. They're gonna, the clock spring in the steering wheel is good, that's quite a few $100s. So it's not blown. It's good. I'm going to have to change the sensors. There's a couple of sensors. The guys are going to put my airbags in. Going to fix all that. Okay. Back to the fuel. Okay. Here we got the fuel pump. We're gonna change it. Okay. Now, before we do that, let's go around here. Okay, this is the fuel that came out of the tank. Okay. When I pulled 12 gallons of fuel out of the tank. And this is the old dirty fuel. I just kept a sample. Okay. We're gonna jack it up, and we decided to drop the tank. And I had put 15 gallons of fresh fuel in, and I thought, as you see the video before this, I siphoned it all back out. Now, this is what we're gonna do to clean out the fuel line. We're going to try this. Never done this before, but we're going to try it to clean out the fuel line. Now, here's the fuel filter. Here's a new fuel filter that's going to go in. Okay, so before we put in the fuel filter, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to try to get whatever fuel is in the line, we're going to try to get it out of there. Okay. This looks like a fuel filter. It has the end just like a fuel filter. If you notice, it has a wire hooked to it. Okay. This is actually a fuel pump. Okay. Now, it's not going to replace the fuel pump I just showed you. The fuel pump, you need 40 pounds of pressure. This thing will put out maybe 5 pounds, maybe. Okay, 5 to 10 pounds, maybe. All right. My idea of this is, this was only like $20, I think. My idea of this is I'm going to hook it to the tank. I'm gonna disconnect the fuel filter under the truck, and it's on the frame rail it's on the driver's side under the frame rail somewhere under here. I think it's about where the 1500 is, somewhere around that area. Okay. We're gonna disconnect it from the tank. Disconnect the fuel filter, or the old fuel filter, and we're gonna put this in its place. But we're gonna put it pumping. Okay. It pumps in this direction. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect it to the fuel line that's coming from the tank. Now we've got a bad fuel pump, and we're gonna put 12 volts to it, and we're gonna see if we can get any fuel out of the tank. Really want to clean the line between the tank and the fuel filter. Okay, make sure there's no trash in it. And so we might have to add a little more fuel to the tank to get this to happen. Okay, if it happens, we're gonna find out. All right, now the next thing we're gonna do. Next thing we're gonna do, after we do that and see how successful we are, okay, we're going to disconnect that line coming from the tank. We're going to connect this to the line going to the fuel rail under here. Okay. And at that time, we're going to remove the little bleeder under here on the fuel line coming in. We're going to remove the, I said it's a bleeder. It's actually where you test your fuel pressure. And it's like a little valve, like I showed you before. It's on like a valve on a tar, on a tube on a tar. It's like a valve. We're going to pull that out. We're going to hook a line to that, a little fuel line to it. Okay. We're going to put it in a can. All right. And now the other end where this piece is. All right. We're going to put a line. We're going to hook a line to this, and we're going to put that into a gas can. We're going to put it into a gas can, and so we're going to try to pump fuel, if you follow what I'm saying. We're going to try to pump fuel from under the truck where the gas can is to the fuel rail. Okay, now if that works, we're going to put it all back together. We're going to put a little gas down into the throttle body with this little pump running. We're going to see if we can at least get the engine to start and idle. Okay. We're going to get it. It hasn't idled. It's only run when I put a little fuel in it. So we want to warm it up. We want to let it run and get everything going. And then after this is done, hopefully it'll work that way. Then after that's done, that's going to tell me the fuel lines are flushed out, the engine's running good. We're going to come back over here. We're going to pick the truck up. We're going to get under there, and we're going to change the tank. Not change the tank. We're going to change that fuel, the fuel pump that goes into the tank. So we're going to drop the tank and do that. There shouldn't be any gas in the tank, not much at all, if any. Like I said, I might have to add a little bit to try to get it to pump the line free. All right, that's where we are now. So let's see if we can get all this to work. Okay, let me see if I can explain what I'm going to try to do. Okay, there's the fuel tank. That's the filter or the fuel pump that I just showed you, the small fuel pump. And this is the line going, it's kind of big, but this is the line going to the throttle body. Okay, the fuel rack, I should say. That is the little valve for testing the fuel pressure. Okay, this has the little orifice in there, like in a tar, a little stem. Okay, what I'm gonna do, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna disconnect the old fuel filter right here. Now what I'm gonna do is try to clean this line out. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the pump, okay, that looks like a fuel filter. I'm gonna connect it here, okay, and connect it to 12 volts and see if I can pump back from the fuel tank. Now, I said I just emptied this, so I might have to add a little fuel to it. And let's see if I can get a flow going. I want to clean out the lines, see what I can get going. All right, now, then I'm going to disconnect it from this line, okay, and I'm going to connect the pump to this line that's going to the engine. All right, and I'm going to connect this other end of the hose, the line, pump. I'm going to go into a gas can. So hopefully I can suck gas out of the can up through here. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pull this valve, take the little stem off, the little orifice out of it, okay, put a hose on it, and put it in a little can, okay, a little jar, and then activate the pump to try to pump gas from the gas can through this line to here. Okay, now if that works, then I'm going to pull this line, close this all back up, okay, put my fuel pump going, get my fuel pump, this fuel pump going, and then we're going to see if we can start the engine. I'll put a little gas in the throttle body and see if we'll start the engine. Now, the main reason I'm doing this is to clean out these lines, get the junk out of this. Truck hadn't run in 10 years. So I'm going to clean out the lines. Also, I want to see if I can get this engine running. Like I said, if I can just idle it, you know, it's not going to have the pressure of the fuel pump that's in the tank, but it's going to have a little bit of pressure. Now, if you had a carburetor, you could probably easily run it with this little pump here. Because the carburetor doesn't take pressure. Not that kind of fuel pressure anyway. Okay, that's what we're just going to do. We're going to give her a try. Okay, we've had a change of plans with this 1999 Silverado. We decided to go ahead and get the rebuilt title, a repair title. In this state, it's called a rebuilt title. We were looking for trucks, and I really can't find anything. I've looked at probably 10, 15 trucks online. I went out and saw 3 trucks. The last one I saw had a repair title on it. And from what the guy told me, it's not that hard to get. So I called my insurance company to confirm that what it would cost for insurance. Now they said all I had to do is sign a waiver saying I wouldn't get full coverage, but they would give me liability at no extra cost than if it was a regular truck. Okay. So we decided to keep this truck. I really did like this truck. I do like this truck. Everything works on it. Even the power windows still work. Everything works so far. Got to change the fuel pump. So like I said before in another video, I bought the airbags, and I'm gonna have somebody install them. Okay. So that's where we are now. We're gonna go ahead and get the repair title and fix this truck up. We're gonna get a front end for it. Order the parts for the front end, and in fact I got everything ordered. I got all the grill. One with a little different grill than a Chevy grill. It's got a custom, all new lights, everything in the front. I got all that ordered. I got somebody that's going to replace the airbags for me. Here's the 2 new airbags, and they're gonna match the same color as this. It's the same color. This is the old one off the steering wheel. The old airbag. Okay, so they match the same color. My big concern was the clock spring. Okay, and if the clock spring is up right here, like you can see, it's got the wire hooked to it. Now, what I understand, if you can blow the horn, the clock spring is still good. Okay. I can blow the horn. You got to jump across the thing to get it to blow. The horn will blow. So hopefully that means the clock spring is still good. Okay, you can see the clock spring right here. That's several $100s just for the clock spring. It costs several $100s for these airbags. So we're gonna go with the repair title, that's where we are now. So we had to change. We're not gonna be pulling the engine. Hopefully, we won't be pulling the engine and transmission, putting it in another truck. Okay. So that's where we are. We want to keep this baby and get her going. Okay, I got that inline fuel pump rigged up and it's pumping a little bit. You can see right there. I don't know if that's going to be enough to make the engine run. I doubt it, but we're going to try it. Okay, remember I hooked it in to where you check your fuel pressure. Okay. And I got that little pump rigged up. Got it in a gas can. And I'm sucking out the gas can. Going up. And I got that little pump where under the truck where the filter was, where the fuel filter was. Okay, when you're doing this, you gotta be very, very careful. I got the gas way over here, but still fumes travel. And then, if you see, I have a positive and negative terminal right here. Okay, that's the positive, that's the negative. And I got a battery charger I'm using for my power. Can you hear it running? That's the old fuel filter down there. I replaced it, but that's the new fuel filter there. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to connect everything back up. Go shut off the pump. Okay. So it is putting out fuel, and it's got, you can see the fuel is old. Kind of old. Okay. So it's cleaned out all the lines, cleaned out the fuel. So let's hook it all back up and see if we can at least get the engine to idle. Okay, we got the little pump running in place to the fuel filter. Going into the gas can, but it's not enough to start the car. I poured a little bit of fuel down in the throttle body, and it will crank with the fuel in the throttle body, but that's about it. Now, dude, it does run a little bit longer than it does if the pump wasn't on. So it's feeding a little bit, but it's not enough to keep it running. So that's where we are. So we're going to pull all that stuff off. And we're going to go and change the fuel pump in the tank. Oh, we got a lot of stuff on my lens here. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. Okay, as you can see, the little auxiliary fuel pump I bought didn't work. I really didn't think it would. I figured I could maybe get it to idle and pump a little bit of fuel in it. But if it was a carburetor, it would be running now. But this complicated fuel injection system on these things, sometimes it doesn't take much for it not to start. So as you can see, that didn't work. So fuel pump comes down. I mean, the fuel tank is going to be dropped. and we're going to put the new fuel pump in and put the tank back in, and we're going to go from there. Okay, we changed the fuel pump. This is the old fuel pump. Okay, there's a video in the link below. If you haven't seen it already, it's on my channel. It's on deciding what we're going to do and dropping the tank. Got a step-by-step exactly how to drop the tank. So like I said, there's a link below to that. And like I said, it's on my channel. That we dropped the fuel tank and how we changed the fuel pump and the decision we made. Okay, where we are.